One of the games is actually going to be a game that we played yesterday, or I played yesterday. Spoiler alert, we did not win, but we learned a lot from it, or I did as well. There's a lot going on in terms of how... I think that... how best to explain this? And we'll go into the game to do a little bit of a deeper dive, but there are definitely things that we could have learned and things that we could have done better. So let me just kind of go into this game first. One thing to note, and just kind of as we get into this game, we kind of started things off. Hang on, let me just turn off some things here as we get into this. 1 second. All right, hang on. I want to turn off whatchamacallit. Advanced, is it? 'Cause I don't want to see the player names. It's not relevant. Where is this? Hang on, let me figure this out. Differentiate LA health bars don't really matter. I would have assumed a tier. It is not. Social, no. Interesting. Oh, here we go. Hero names. Display health over. Does that work? Yeah, it should be hero names. Okay. Alright, I think that just the replays do it differently. Anyways. Alright, let's just hop into this game. I don't think it's that long of a game. But I think from start to finish, there's a lot to learn. Oh, it's 54 minutes. Oh, good God. Alright, so it's longer than I thought it was going to be. Let me take a swig of that.
Your turn to ban.
Okay, so we will do free cam. I don't think that we need to look specifically at
Prepare for
any
battle.
specific lane. Okay, just going into this, the Lion and the Skywrath were actually picked first. That's first phase. The issue I have with this is that the Skywrath is actually going mid, and there's no point, there's no reason for a mid to go pick first phase, okay? Even if you know you're going to go Skywrath, this guy is a niche pick. This guy can get countered very easily. Also, you don't have a second Tango. Oh, okay. Okay, you get a Tango here. You went full null talisman. I think that the norm is pretty much just getting the components for it, but not actually buying it all out, because you get it with because the recipe, basically you're paying for that, and it's not much of a value add. What you need right now are stats.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay, so you place the ward here. Okay, but back to the draft. It went Lion, Skywrath first phase, and then it went LC Rubik. And they went Zeus and Jakiro to start off, right? And I see Zeus and Jakiro, and I think it's going to be difficult to get on them because those guys are backliners. Jakiro has a decent amount of control. Obviously, the push is there, but he has a ton of stuff to steal. And so that's kind of why I went in. Then they went Centaur, Razor. I actually didn't get it because I'm a terrible person. I'm not clicking fast enough. This is bad because we're not focused on the right guy. We just need to bully out one guy completely. And this is the weird thing, is that it was going to be a carry Lesh. And don't get me wrong, this guy, Lesh can work, and obviously it does work in this game because of the amount of magic damage and the amount of push that he provides. This is definitely a very good player, right? In terms of the lineup, this is kind of ideal. Because Medusa wants space and wants to go late game, right? And how do you stop that? Is you just end the game earlier so that she never gets late game. So this is why Leshrac is definitely good in that sense. But this is exactly kind of like the build that Sky should have gone, right? With the circlet, the 2 circlets and the mantle, and then you get the recipes later. You're paying 210 gold for literally just a tiny bit of bump in terms of stats, right? Which is a massive, massive issue. Okay, because you need to go in with the maximum amount of value, right? Here, you're going up against Sky. You have full mana, and why are you not casting your spells? Okay? I harp on you a lot in this, because this regen that you're never really using is oh, I'm clicking on Razor. Sorry. Okay, but Razor needs to be using his plasma field. Also, okay, so you're kind of loading it up. Now, one thing to note is that he doesn't have a stick. Okay, so you can kind of bully him, but the thing is that you're scared and you're trying to go for last hits for some reason. So your mana's starting to build up here. You know, in my opinion, I think the first 2 levels for you, and obviously you're 3 now, it would have been more beneficial for you to be spamming these spells as much as possible. Get him out of the lane. Make him use his tangos. The fact that he doesn't have a stick means he's not prepared for you, right? So you... Look how much damage you did that with that single one. And you have that, it's ready, available, again, very, very quickly. So this 80 damage or whatever that you do with these arcane bolts, it can do a lot of work. But you need to use it. And to be honest, spamming all your spells and then kind of backing up and then just getting your clarity working for you, that's probably ideal. Like look at how badly damaged he is. And you could be further bullying him, right? Like this is the time where you can be all over him. And mind you, combining these two, concussive shot with it, it slows him down, it totally fucks him up, right? So you need to be spamming your spells. This is the power of Sky. He is the most annoying hero early game. Okay? By far none. I mean, maybe Zeus. I think Zeus is kind of annoying too. But just the amount of magic damage you provide. Now he's already back to full, but the thing is that you haven't been spamming, and now you're getting scared off by him. You have level 2 and 2. You can be doing a lot of literally you can be playing like a piano and just kind of forcing this guy out of it. Now he's level 4 and he has spells to kind of fight back with you. Okay, so this is a wasted opportunity. Mind you, he goes 1 now, so it's completely too late. It's too late for you to just get in on that. This is, in my opinion, one of the biggest tellers of the game, and it comes down to the mid lane, and unfortunately it's there with what is it? Great responsibility comes whatever. What is that? What is it? With great powers comes great responsibility. You're kind of in that situation, right? In the sense that mid lane, you need to take over the game, and going even is probably not where you want to be, right? And if you're looking at it, yeah, you have more denies, so you have a slight edge in terms of levels, right? Or in terms of XP. We're looking at the bars, so you're gonna hit 5 before. But the thing is that now it's too late, and Razor is now in play. He can just kind of tank up now. He can bully you away. This is a pretty massive one. Going to the top lane.
Let none rejoice.
Right, that's a pull there, but you're letting them do the pull, right? So I don't know what you're doing here. Are you on Tinder? What's going on? Are you swiping right? Now you're moving. Okay. Yeah. So you're leaving your Medusa out. You have full mana. You're not using your spells. You're not. You're not really. You're literally leeching XP at this point. You have a ward that you haven't placed. 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I don't know where the other wards are. But you're literally not... Okay. They have a Zeus, so in the same limelight of going up against the Sky, you need to carry a stick. You need to protect yourself, right? And to get all that value. You have not used any of your spells. This is terrible. Okay, but you get the room. Why didn't you go this way? Why didn't you go this way? Why would you go this way? Okay, alright, fine. I guess that's scarier because you don't know where it is. I hope you micro this courier. Dude. Okay, you need to micro that. Does it get away? Zeus, 310. 310. Yeah, he's too slow. And he tries to go for the... Okay. Alright, so you're level 6 now, Sky. This, in my opinion, is almost, I hate to say game losing, but it's definitely lane losing. You didn't go Mystic Flare. Alright, why is Sky good? You have Arcane Bolt and you have Concussion Shot. These can, the low cooldown, do a lot of damage, and they can pretty much, over time, they will do enough damage where he needs to respect you. But this is your gravy. This is the only reason people play this hero. It's the Mystic Flare. Okay? It does 750 damage if they stay in it. Okay? In comparison, the Lion does 600 damage. So it actually does more damage, but they need to stay still in it. Okay? That's how potentially powerful that spell can be. So what you need to do is you need to concussive shot him, so it slows him down, so that he stays in that area and he can't get away from you. The Ancient Seal, obviously just silencing and all that, increasing magic damage, which just further compounds the fact that this is a nice combination. But you have kill potential, right? As a mid, why are some heroes mids? Like, why is a Razor a mid? Why is a Quap a mid? Why is a Storm a mid? Because they have wave clearing ability. They do a lot of burst damage, okay? Skywrath is kind of in that same lane, right? He has a lot of burst damage as well, but this is the gravy. This is the, you know, the bread and butter, so to speak, of this hero. By not getting this, you take away your own kill capacity, your capabilities. Do you get slashed? You do. Okay. So, without even having this, there's no point in trying to gank any other lane. You've kind of rationed your mana, which is fine, and Razor has kind of respected that. He's got infused raindrops because he assumes that you're getting level 6 Mystic Flare. That's how scared he is, because he knows that you are powerful. But further, okay, you're killing his raindrops, which is good. Alright, so it kind of just, the cooldown is there. But one thing to note now is that you've given him charges, okay? This is a little bit, it changes the game in terms of the mid like the 5 minutes beyond, because of the fact that he has a stick and a wand. He has more sustainability, and he earns, he gets value out of the times that you're casting spells like this, willy-nilly. Like, what was the point of that concussive shot, right? The Arcane Bolt does more damage, it does more, but this will slow you down, but combining it with the Mystic Flare, then you're getting value. You have a regen there. So you can see, this is the moment where, if you see this regen, spam all your mana, right? Let him get the charges, whatever. Get rid of his infused raindrops.
Witness this singular bloodlust.
Okay, so, alright, you have boots as well. Speed-wise, you're definitely faster than this Razor, because you got wings. I think that's how Valve did it. But you need to... Yeah, to be honest, you're level 8 and you're still not getting Mystic Flare, right? Yeah, not much else to say. You gotta respect the fact that Zeus is level 6. This lane is in a terrible spot. Ryan, you need to be stacking and pulling. Okay, if you have this much space, you have the potential and the time to do a stack and then pull, right? What you're doing right now is you're single pulling, and obviously the lane is, you know, fluctuating basically, which is okay, but the thing is that you're not getting harassed. You have all the time in the world, so you could be doing the best case scenario, which in this case is stacking it and then pulling, because it'll completely destroy that creep wave. Now this lane, if you just count sheer numbers, and yeah, the Mystic Snake was there, but you have more creeps. So this lane, okay, why would you Hex there if you know, I mean, he's got a massive or a full wand right now, but the Hex doesn't, okay, the Hex is only good if it locks down the guy so that your team can attack him, right? At this point, you're just wasting mana. You don't even get the 10-minute range. Okay, so that's, you're definitely not paying attention. You're stay in the game. Damn, stop is off the mark, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, Skywrath here. You have Invis, but you don't have Mystic Flare. I remember this one. So there's really no point in, like, if you Mystic Flare here, he'd be dead. He'd be dead, by far. Now you fucked it up. He Fairy Fires, and he survived. Oh, no, he goes down. Okay, okay, okay. You would have made it a lot easier. You would have taken less damage. Now Zeus is in here.
What is that?
What's your play? Are you gonna let him die? Steals that kill.
Red.
Okay. I get double edge, which I don't need. Probably should have stolen Zeus's Thunder Gods. I stole it a couple times, but I missed it on this one. I didn't see him move into position. Okay. Nonetheless, I mean, you got a kill out of it. You got Razor, which is fine. But your life could have been easier. Level 9, definitely getting Mystic Flare is pretty massive. Okay. Ryan is now level 6. You gotta protect him. little bit of a fake back. And to be honest, Rubik, you know, myself and Rubik, and LC, we did lose the bottom lane. Denied that. Alright, one thing to note is that you didn't get boots. That's interesting. I think you should have gotten boots instead. The movement speed is massive because Leshrac, he's just a fast look. Like 390 movement speed. There's no way, if he stuns you here, and you're trying to use your heals, there's no way to outrun this guy. You have no boots. Oh, you're lucky those creeps are there. Okay, so you get out here. Oh, the hood saving you. Okay. Toss just to get a little tower damage. Alright. What is your play? Like, if we're looking... Okay. I feel like there's a lot of things going on. Okay, what is this haste? Are you gonna catch somebody? Yeah, this is super obvious. Yeah. Yeah, there's no way you get this guy, right? He's got Stampede. He's probably not the one. So, again...
is under attack.
Where actually is the support required? In my opinion, it's the bottom lane. All of the squishy guys are there. Centaur, on the other hand, he also has Stampede. Okay, this table, or sorry, these three guys here, they just run up on you, and they're gonna just roll you up. Hang on, there's a pretty massive one here. Hang on. This is another thing where I was kind of like, really, no one's going to come to help. Because Sky is rotating. Gets caught out here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Completely missing. Oh, okay, that was bad. I keep in. I'm trying to look at fights here. And everybody's so low. What I don't get is that there was no other TPs. You're a little low on mana. Lion had just died. Medusa probably could have TP'd and gotten this kill. So this is just a more awareness thing, right? Because if we're kind of fast forward, rewinding this, I see that Sky is in trouble, right? I see this, and I see two, and I feel like they're low enough that we can make an impact. If I'm not the only one that goes in this, hang on, I'm just gonna rewind this even further. Okay, so I get the double edge here, which I moved a lot, but then nobody else comes in. Like, this is ridiculous. Letting two cores alive, and mind you, even further to this, Skywrath here. Hang on, this is what should have happened. Just kind of
can its end be drawing nigh?
Here, because what Sky needed to do, instead of placing the Mystic Flare in a random spot, what you needed to do is go high ground here, where there's literally this entrance, this gate, right? And you can drop your Mystic Flare here, and it'll be like Hodor in the sense of just holding that door. And there's no way, I mean, you're guaranteed that somebody will walk into it if they watch you, right? But instead, you place it wherever, where you assume that they're going to be, and they're just so fast they can just walk out of it. Like, it doesn't really matter. And then you're pretty much dead. Okay, so a little bit of a micro thing there. I'm not sure if I stole from
The hoofbeats of your heart.
That was a huge missed opportunity. 9-3 versus 9-5, and we could kill both the cores.
The Dire just can't resist
Another thing,
attacking
I feel like LC here, yeah, you've kind of suffered through this lane. It hasn't been a good lane. And Leshrac is very strong.
Radiant's top tower
So I'm thinking
is under
that
attack.
what you probably should have done is you should have given, you know, a support the lane while you just jungled from the beginning.
Radiant must summon
Right?
the
Sometimes you
spirit
just need to be like, this
top
lane is
tower.
completely unwinnable, or maybe you cut the creeps, or you know, you have to do things other than just the status quo, which is literally just staying in the lane.
Tower is under attack.
He does have jewels on up now. Stun. Oh, he misses that. Alright, so he's not that good. Okay. Alright, I had just died, so I'm coming back. I've got arcane boots. Even though it's one blade of alacrity, you should have called. Okay, you do call it. Alright, good. Alright. Look, if Lion, if you don't know where to go, You need to just be in the jungle and just stacking.
Radiant's middle
This is the
tower
only,
is
like, if you
under
have a
attack.
really bad lane and you're just like, we have no chance of winning. The only value add and the only addition you can make to your lane is not to sap XP like you're doing right now and just literally walking like a prison guard back and forth, but it's to be in the jungle just stacking, right? This will help your team way more because the stacks, Medusa will kill it so quickly. Her issue is that she can't be everywhere at once. And you're not adding any sort of value here. Okay? Again. Like that what like why like to be honest, like the Hex, I get it, Earth Spike, and then just mana drain. You just get all your mana back. If anything, this is how you deal with this Centaur. I mean, Centaur has a less issue because he's not as mana reliant, but by taking away the potential for him to stomp, to stampede, by stealing his mana and just being a nuisance. And mind you, if you're full on mana, you can still steal mana drain. You can still use it.
Dire's top tower is under
Okay?
attack.
So it doesn't matter that you're full or not. You can still use this. Your sole objective is to make this guy's life miserable. I mean, you have level 3 mana drain, and yet you've not used it once. Let me roll. And this team, they want to run at you and they want to push. Almost everybody's faster than me. The Leshrac and the Razor are definitely very fast. And the Jakiro and the Zeus, they just burst you with magic. And this is the thing is that why we're like, or I was, finish the hood. But instead, you get the, finish the pipe. But what you did was you went Hood of Defiance and then you audibled into this Blade Mail. Further slowing you down to that pipe, which we really needed early. I was stressing the fact that this is the #1 item. It will change the game if we get it early enough, because it mitigates almost all of these guys, even Jakiro. And that stack is going to get taken. Yeah, I mean, they completely own the map. They're the top 2. Oh, this is just bad. Okay, all right, here, hang on. Why was there no reaction? Right? Hang on. I gotta look at vision on this. Hang on. Because even I remember pinging this one out, and I was like, this is dangerous. Hang on, let me just see this vision real quick. Player perspective. Plus you're Skywrath, which means you are okay. Skywrath's playstyle is he wants to burst people down. He just wants to make their life miserable with magic damage. Okay? He is not a good pusher. So, in effect, you're using him at his weakness, which is pushing. You're trying to push a lane when he's like one of the worst pushers in this game. He has a lot of magic damage, which is further mitigated by the siege creep. I mean, he does like next to no tower damage because his right clicks are pitiful. I dislike the fact that you went Aether Lens first. I understand that you do need it and it does increase magic spells or the range of everything, but in my opinion, with this lineup, I mean, we have a decent amount of catch, but the thing is that you're not looking at catch as to catch to gank people. I mean, obviously it would help, but the thing is that you're looking to root people into place and to just drop your Mystic Flare on top of them. And then you literally piano your fingers, QWE, QWE, all throughout until that guy dies. You don't want him anywhere near, any close to you. Like that's the #1 thing. Positioning is so important for Skywrath, right? Because anybody who gets on him, he just melts. All right, hang on, where are you? Okay, so you see this. All right. So you see that there's 3 bottom.
Tower is under attack.
Okay? And you're looking to push this as fast as possible. You're not even burning your mana as fast as possible. If you're looking to push, you need to go all in. You have literally almost full mana. His 10.4 is very fast. So you need to just constantly use your spells. Now, these 3 have gone up. Hang on, let me pause this here.
Tower is under attack.
You saw the movement here. Where did Zeus go? Like, okay, you can see it on the mini-map, but we had a little bit of vision because the tower, these guys literally walked up on this ramp right here. Okay? So you saw that they're moving towards the mid. You have to assume... Okay, so LC here realizes that, and he backs off. Tries to get as much as he can, he backs off, right? But if you're looking in terms of our vision, player perspective, let me go to Sky. Okay, it's bugged. Hang on, let me just pause, start. Okay. So, this is what we see right now. Actually, I don't know how we see this Jakiro, but we do. The Jakiro is like right here. But you saw that there were 3 people here. Instantly, LC backs off, realizing it's not safe. If it's not safe for the LC, then it sure as hell ain't safe for you, the Sky. But what do you do instead? You decide to continue to push. You have to know that this, you have to get that gut feeling. That Spider-Man tingling sensation, okay? But you have to know that these guys are going to run up on you. You get used up, you're going to die. Anybody who falls on you, try to save you. I stole Thunder God's Wrath. And here come the friends. Okay, so it turns into a decent fight, but I'm getting run up on. There's no way I get my way from the Razor. Cool. We get the deal. So we kind of salvaged it. We get a 3 for 2, but we didn't get the money one, which is this guy. Him getting away is the massive one because he's worth the most. His bounty should be there. We definitely need to get up on him. But yeah, we needed you to survive. And the way for you to survive was to run back in. Where is safe? Where are people farming? Right here. Like, you saw the location. There were at least 4 people in this jungle, this area. Where do you think they're going to go? If you were them, where would you go? You would go to the mid lane, and you would find that guy that's out of position. Right? You need to constantly think about where your positioning is, where they're going to be, and you need to be 2 steps ahead. It's kind of like chess in that sense, right? You can't just assume that you're safe. Look, this is bad too. I remember this. Like, too many times I've seen you guys get caught out, right? There's no way to get away from them. This lineup, which all they want to do is run at you. They have Stampede, they got, you know, Razor, they got this Leshrac who literally just wants to push towers. This is all he does. He just runs at you, and he pushes towers. You're playing into their hands. But it snowballs because of bad positioning, bad game sense, right? Supports cannot be everywhere where they're constantly helping. But like this positioning... Hang on, I can't just go to their perspective here. LC. You have DD, doesn't mean invincibility. Right? Hang on, let me just rewind this guy. Where are you? So you're here pushing this lane, okay? Alright. Overwhelming odds? No? Okay. Alright, you just kill these guys. I'm gonna go slow because I'm gonna tell you the exact moment you should have backed off. Creep died. This is the moment you just back off. Okay? The reason for this moment is because the creeps are going to hit that tower. If the creeps are ever hitting a tower or doing some sort of tower damage, the reinforcements are coming. Okay? Unless they're really bad at Dota and don't understand how this game works. But that is the number one thing, that is the number one feel, okay? For when you're getting, basically the moment that any of these creeps are hitting that tower, you need to just back off. Because, A, look at how dark this map is. You don't see anyone. You see this Zeus, but I think it's bugged. And then you're seeing the top lane, and also, hang on, let me just see this free perspective, right? You see this courier because this tower, or this ward, or is it sentry ward? It is a sentry ward. Oh, it's observer ward. I think it's an observer ward. Yeah, it's an observer ward because it's giving this vision. But you're seeing the 2 chicks, okay? If you know where the UPS is being delivered, you know where their home is, so to speak, right? You see that this chick is going this way. So somebody is in this position, and obviously the centaur is. And then you also see this chick, which is going south, right? So by checking your mini-map, you can see these things, right? If you know somebody is in this area, where do you think that person is going to go? Where? Do you think he's going to go in the jungle? Maybe. But generally speaking, the most dangerous place, and he's probably not going to go this way because he's going to walk into your T1 and he's going to be spotted. He's probably going to go where you are and where this is attracting all the attention. So instead of what you decide to do is you're like, oh wait, shit, I have DD. People need to respect me.
Middle tower is
I've got the biggest balls in the room. I'm going back. This bad, one single bad mistake turns into multiple bad mistakes. Okay? Because now you're dead. You actually have no chance You should have just fought. You know what I mean? Like, pop your hood. There's no way you run out of this. I know you try to run for your life. But this guy has no reason to think that this guy has any sort of way to save the LC here. Okay? When somebody makes a bad mistake, the things you need to understand is that that guy fucked up, but I didn't fuck up. Okay? I didn't make a mistake. But instead, what you decide to do is you decide to go into hero mode with literally no stuns, no sort of movement shenanigans, no way to actually help your LC get out of it. Like if you had a force staff, maybe, glimmer, maybe, but you don't have any of these things. And now you're completely out of position. That one bad mistake compounds. He blinks on through. Next heals on up, and anybody, like literally anybody who's next to you, is just gonna kill you. Okay. This is my problem with Sky as a hero in general. He's incredibly squishy. PA, one time, literally, if he has BKB, you're just dead. Because you have all you have is magic damage. You're a one-trick pony. You need to diversify in the sense of playing a hero that has multiple outs, multiple ways to kind of get you in, and that's kind of why Quap, Storm, Puck, all of these guys, yes, floor is a lot higher and more difficult to play, but it will help you overall. I don't know why I don't here. I think I just like this line's dead anyways. Really no choice. And I'm looking to save myself. Yeah. I mean, I probably could have TP'd in, but I don't think that it was like 3 on 5. I don't know why we were fighting, right? So that again, it's coming back to that mistake. Like I'm trying to see where did this guy die? This guy died like right here. They got the T1. What do we do? Right? Medusa should never have gone back in. What do you, like, here's the thought process, right? They've just completely wiped out 2 guys. And now you think that you're strong enough, or you have enough items to fight 3v5 into this lineup, which is way ahead if we're looking at net worth. I mean, it doesn't seem like it with just 1K. I mean, it's kind of dispersed throughout, but you're our only lifeline. You will help us, but the only way we can do that is that you need to consider this dying right here. Yes, there are bad mistakes in it and all that stuff, and other people fucked up, but you can't fuck up with them. There's no reason to fight. You don't even have Stone Gaze, and I think you'll get it later, but you don't even have that first big item yet, right? How are you going to fight into this lineup, which have stuns galore? I mean, this Leshrac is out of control. Even, you know, like there's just way too much. So the Lion here and Medusa, there's no way that you think that you could take on 5 heroes at once. Okay? So that, again, combining the LC, Skywrath, 2 bad mistakes. Okay? How do we make how do we make it worse? We do this. We give up the tier 2. That should have been the call. Tier 2's not as important. Yes, they're a little bit more important with stuff pushing 7s. In terms of the outpost and all that stuff, but it's never worth dying over. This is so silly. This is so silly. Like this. And to be honest, I think I was kind of shell-shocked because I was like, why are we going into a fight 3v5? Like, this doesn't make sense. And so by the time I get there, I might have TP, but I would have died as well, and it would have made the mistake worse. So that's why I didn't TP. I mean, in my excuse. Nonetheless, Medusa, there's really no way of fighting this. They have a ton of magic damage and just ways to deal with this. So we literally lost 4 heroes off of 1 bad mistake. It's frustrating, and I understand that this is like an unranked game, no one cares, but you know what I mean? Like the competitive side of me, like our decision making is poor.
There's a good reason to say it this time.
Maybe, you know what I mean, like, because sometimes I try to, like, and this is just me personally, right? When I'm on Discord with you guys and trying to make calls, I'm trying to do it in a way that's not too hands-on, I would say. Like, I shouldn't have to micro everybody's hero. I shouldn't have to make every single call. Like, I assume that there's a basic level of knowledge, right? in terms of the things that we're doing. So in another way, I'm trying not to be annoying, because I feel like I can be annoying if I'm constantly like hounding you. Like I don't want to be that Asian dad. But I think in certain cases, I think I need to be a little bit more vocal. Okay, so that's something that I will take on. Not to say that I'm amazing and I made these amazing plays, but the thing is that our synergy and our coordination is really poor. Okay, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. Everybody thinks there's you know, a certain level of strength, when in fact we're kind of all over the place, right? We're kind of all doing our own thing. Okay, not having pipe at 20 minutes is a bit of an issue. I mean, if you didn't get the chainmail, you probably would have had it been very close to. Right. This is another bad positioning issue.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. So, looking at the Dire, this is the problem with Dire. Okay, not with Dire. Okay, let me rewind this. Because this is a good learning moment, okay? Because if you're looking at the Dire here, this is the vision we have. Skywrath, Lion, completely in a different lane, right? They're nowhere near. Medusa finds two guys. Generally speaking, these guys have been deathballing it, so they've been running as, you know, packs of 5. You know, these guys are a herd, so to speak. So, by the way, the Fairy Fire and the Magic Wand, you actually get more damage, life, and obviously you're building up charges instead of the Fairy Fire. Just something to note. But, okay. If you see, like, the Centaur and this LC, right, or sorry, the Leshrac, you know that enemies are also behind him somewhere. Because that's the way they've been playing, right? They've just been deathballing it. So, seeing as that goes in, why, when you're the Medusa here, and obviously you're trying to get to your teammates, which is fine, but the thing is that your tower was right next to you. Like, you literally walk up this way, and you're at the tower. So instead, Sky is here. One thing to note, if this action is going on, Lion, you need a TP into this. We need your stuns. We need your damage. Walking to this is not helpful at all. And I understand that you think that I'm... Hang on, let me just rewind this. You are here. This shit is going on. Okay? This is when I'm constantly hounding you guys in the sense of stick with your cores. You stick with your, you know, Medusa. What are you doing? You're babysitting and your baby is here. Like, you literally are a babysitter. And yet you're not with the baby. Okay? Some parenting advice. That's bad parenting. Okay? Like, you see this going. He blinks on forward. This situation. You should instantly be like, oh fuck, my baby is gonna be gangbanged by 2 guys right here. This is an issue, right? So when this is going on and you're all the way down here, you need to instantly TP. This is like an instant reaction. As a support, as a good support, and something that you need to work on is your awareness, and then when do I TP? If you die after the TP, it's fine, because you're trying to help them. Now, mind you, the Medusa probably should have gone further in. Reason is that A, this tower obviously does a little bit of, in terms of, you know, damaging and, you know, deterrence, so to speak. But then it provides a point, a focal point for you and the Skywrath to TP on in and to help you. But instead, the Medusa, you decide to kind of do this weird, awkward angle into the team, which is fine. Which, actually, it's not fine. Because it would have been better here, because we could have literally wrapped around this way and helped you and supported you that way. Like, we were close enough to go either way, right? So instead, we've turned it into this situation. Lion had to have TP'd already, but instead does this walk of shame all the way to the mid lane, literally just walking there. This wastes valuable time, okay? It's a matter of seconds. TPing does 3 seconds, and you're way closer, okay? Even at this point, you walking into this fight, like, even if you TP'd, it would be faster than walking. Okay? And even to like right here, maybe. Even if you TP'd from this position. Like, it's that much faster. Okay, so we do get to Skywrath Mage Flare off. We do kill a Ranger. We have no vision. This is a really nice ice path. And it just kind of closes out the retreat. Now, another thing is that if you TP'd at this tower, you would be here. Meaning, you probably could have fingered this guy. You probably could have gotten an Earth Spike and maybe secured these stims, just slow them down. But instead, we all get caught out here and we're continuing to fight. LC will die because of that. And then, yeah, we get some kills here, but we let the Leshrac go? No way, right? No way, right? No way. No way. 72. He needs to use himself at the last second. He does. Okay. Okay, so he's gonna die. But you could have saved the LC. And you could have secured even the Centaur. Right? So that is the big picture. Okay? Just these tiny little things can help improve you, right? I hope he puts the wand in. He doesn't have the raindrop anymore. Okay. And, okay, another thing that if you're going to play Skywrath mid, and I know that some pros do play this, you need to see how the proper itemization. Yours is a stand back using perfect positioning to cast all of your spells from afar. If somebody gets on you, you're just fucked. You're literally, you fuck like a chicken because you're literally chicken food for this guy. Like, look at this guy. He just literally ran on you. What are you going to do? You can't do anything. You are the easiest thing to kill. So, this is, again, why I don't like Sky. Second thing is that you needed Atos to hopefully lock him into place, and then maybe you just wrap around the corner, TP on out, give yourself some outs, have some sort of defensive item. The Rod of Atos is perfect for you because it combines so well with your other spells. Like Mystic Flare and Rod of Atos. That guy should just be dead. Assuming you've casted all your spells on him. Okay. So, at this point, if you're looking at the net worth, you're actually behind me. Right? I'm a position 4. Okay? And a lot of that comes back to the positioning, not to say that I've been perfect. But your hero, when it's given the opportunity to be a mid, you need a snowball. You need to make sure that you have that peak. You get the right items, you do the right things. And then you make the right ganks, and you're as efficient as possible. Don't get me wrong, mid is like literally one of the hardest lanes to play. Hardest roles for sure, okay? But the thing is that your presence needs to be done there. Pick up 2. Burn the finger. Oh, you don't.
Top tower is under attack.
Oh, and we let him go. Fuck, man. Okay, so Jakiro gets out of there. We sacrifice our T2 for that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, actually we don't need these blind man vision. Okay. Still don't have pipe, 23 minutes. We need a counter on that. Okay, another thing. I'll get to that later. Leshrac is here. Just like, if you have, what is it? Dota Plus. It tells you, it has a breakdown of the damage in the top left corner of what kind of damage you're getting hit by. Is it more, you know, what is it? Magical damage and non-magical damage. It's as simple as that, right? And in this case, the amount of magic damage and burst is incredibly high. Okay? I think aside from his right clicks, hang on, let me just see. Damage type physical, pierces, okay, static link. Sorry, that doesn't do anything. So this is actually magical as well. I mean, Razor's pretty much a right clicker, but the thing is that, like, Jakiro, Zeus, Leshrac, these guys, crazy amount of magic burst. Okay? And this is frustrating because, and I know how you play LC, right? I know that you like to be the damage, you like to be a core, right? But the thing is that you have to do what the lineup asks of you, right? Not exactly what you want to do at times. And so, if you want to play the off lane, you have to learn how to play as a somewhat traditional off lane, right? In the sense of the utility guy, who's just going to stun lock people and let the cores, everyone else just burst people, okay? That will improve your game immensely, because right now you're kind of in this weird, I would rather be a core but I'm not really a core, if you get my point, right? Because somebody, and like, if you're not going to do it, then the position 4, then I needed to have done it, right? And to be honest, get pipe on me is kind of bad because I'm in the back lane, right? So I need to be close to you to even activate it. Plus, I'm super squishy. I have only 1,300 life versus your 1,800, right? So if anybody, like, jumps on me, they can potentially just kill me. Whereas you have, you know, innate, your armor is higher, you just have way more things that will just help you out. Hang on, if I pull you into this door. And this combination is good. Sky and LC. But we don't have the Atos to lock people into place to further help with the duels. We don't have an initiation tool yet. Oh, you do get touched now. But you want Blade Mill next. Alright. I'm going to disagree in the sense that I think you should have gone Blink before this Blade Mail. If we're looking at cost, I believe Blade Mail is $22.50. So it's actually the same cost as the Blink. Because you need to think about what does our team need in this case. We need somebody to lock down that motherfucking Leshrac. Okay? Yeah, if you get stunned and all that shit, whatever. It's not, like, yes, it sucks for you because you're kind of standing there and tanking all of this stuff. But you're giving us the opportunity to kill Leshrac, who can literally just get on his high horse with his 435 movement speed and literally just run away from everybody. Okay? We needed that lockdown. That's the #1 thing, and just stopping this horse from getting out of control. Giving ourselves a chance. Another thing to note is that if magic damage is this high on that team, then we needed BKB a lot faster. And Medusa, I understand that you're trying to farm. This comes back to, you know, me and the Lion not doing a good enough job in terms of creating stacks for you. I think that this is, like, checking it now, I don't see very many stacks. I saw, like, 1 stack. I don't even know who did that. I don't think I did that. But we needed ways to get you back into this game. The only way we could have done that is gotten you, you know, stacks. There were some bad fights. Obviously, we lost those. Oh, this is bad positioning. What are you doing? Like, you reacted so slow to this.
Yeah, you did.
This is the case, you just run. We can't fight. We can't fight. Alright? Hang on, let's rewind this just to see. Because that's funny. Alright. This is super dangerous. Let me just say this. In Dota, this point and this point, in my opinion, are the 2 most popular ward spots on the entire map. You will almost always have a ward there. And it provides so much, and it's a value one, right? In the sense, it's 2 entrances here. It gives you vision, you know, even behind the T2, which was here. And then it also very close to the high ground up in this position. You wouldn't see all the way up, but it gives you a ton of vision, okay? So anytime it's dark, anytime you're behind in a game, this is the scariest moment, okay? There is no reason for you to think that your force staff is going to keep you alive in this situation in case anybody jumps on you. You are literally the weakest hero in this in this entire game. You are the squishiest thing. Hang on, let me see if Chikiro is. Yeah. In terms of HP, yes. You are the squishy. Hang on, maybe I am. 1310 versus your 1300. No, I'm 10. I have 10 more HP than you. So but nonetheless, because this is dangerous. Walking up into this situation where they can see you from afar and they'll probably be farming here is, again, just suicidal. All right, how do you deal with this then, right? Like, what do you do? How do I, you know, get any sort of vision? What do I do? Okay, what you could do is you could actually smoke. And what the smoke does is obviously it protects you from the vision of the observer ward, but in the event that because of the fact that they won't see you right away, and it's during the nighttime, so they have to be closer to you, so to speak, to see you. If you're smoked here, and then you would see it by one of these things, it's a buff. Basically, it would go away when somebody's within, I don't remember how many feet. Within 1025 range, okay? For the record, vision-wise, I think they can only see 500, 600, depending on hero. That's about the norm. That's about the average. So even if your smoke popped, they wouldn't be able to see you because it's nighttime. Okay? So, if you have a smoke and it pops, you instantly turn around, force yourself back. Okay? Yeah, the smoke didn't work. You didn't get anything of value, but you saved yourself. That's one way of just going up blind. Because if not, this is what happens. I'm sure watching yourself die is never fun. That's what's going to happen, right? There's no vision. There's no... This is incredibly super dangerous. And literally, it's like... I mean, you're walking into the bear trap, and this is exactly what they want you to do. Okay, another piece is that I realize that it looks bad, right? In the sense that we are losing, right? We're down only 7k though, and it's 27 minutes. At this point, all we needed to do is provide more spin. Why should have used the glyph. Nice duel there. The centaur way too deep, no points. The macro pyre is doing a lot of work. We need to run out. Everybody's fine. But we lose our tower. I don't know. Okay, now we go. That was a late in place. Okay, that'll get them to run. But here is the thing where this, if you had Blink instead of the Blade Mail, we potentially could have caught somebody else. Potentially. I'm not saying that we could have, but I mean, as opposed to 0 chance with this, literally this itemization, we could have gotten maybe somebody. Okay? And again, you need to understand your role of, you're catching the predators. You're not killing the predators. You're letting the other people do the damage. Okay. I remember this. Yeah. So Electric completely out of position. Yeah, we're just like, we'll take this guy for free. Another thing is that, and I'm just being super nitpicky here, but if we're looking at this positioning, okay, so he died here, right? If he dies, where do you think this guy wants to go? He wants to go back towards his fountain, right? So this is the direction he's going to go. LC and myself, we needed to block this guy off, okay? Literally stand in this situation, okay? It provides more vision for us, and then it also cuts off his avenue of retreat. We don't want to keep chasing this guy, okay? I'm being super nitpicky because we get the kill, okay? But I'm just saying for the future, our positioning, we know that our friends are coming. So this area will be cut off. There's no way he runs this way. This is the whole North Korea joke that I made in another stream, right? Like, you have to understand that he's going to want to go back to South Korea and not North Korea. And so this is the way he's going to go. So you need to be prepared in the sense that you need to start positioning yourself here. I was very hesitant about this because I was like, if somebody walks up this ramp or whatever, they just kill me because I'm super squishy, right? But you need to ensure that you block him from trying to run away, okay? I mean, it doesn't matter, we get the kill, but I'm just saying for the future, if they had like Stampede or something, that could be a potential for disaster. He could have gotten away. He had outs. All right, so enough with that. We get this kill. Hang on, did we get the finger kill? Okay. Let me rewind this a little bit. All right, this guy's gonna die again. He's gonna die twice. This is after the Aegis. You need to use your finger more, right? I don't care, like, yes, we're guaranteed to kill this guy, but the thing about you is that you need to secure more Finger of Death kills. If you want to play Lion and you want to continue this hero, this is something that you need to learn ASAP, okay? Sometimes you just need to burst it for the sake of bursting, okay? You need to get this buff. Having 1 at 29 minutes is like having only 10 duel damage at this time. It's pathetic. It's very, very low, okay? You need to be more willy-nilly in the sense of using the Finger of It. Like, you know that this guy's gonna die. The Mystic Flare's on top of him. All of these guys are here. This guy, like, look, you don't need to be a fortune teller to realize that this guy's gonna die. You need to have that feeling. So you need to just burst him. You just secure the kill. It doesn't matter if you steal the kill because we need this damage to scale. This will give us more because all of these guys, the Zeus, the Jakiro, the Leshrac, all of these guys are generally speaking very squishy. You need to burst it. You need to take advantage of what you get. Instead, you go for the Earth Slide. You still have Finger. Like, why would you... Right. And now you go for the Finger, which doesn't even secure the kill. Yes, he's about half-life, but your thing You need to understand how this spell works, okay? If you get a kill or he dies within like what is it? If they die within 3 seconds, you gain more damage. This is a must. You're getting free damage. You and the LC are scaling. You must use this. You must know when to use your Finger of Death. Getting it on a full life Razor doesn't help your team long term. Okay. Decent ice path here. Just kind of stopping them all there. Regen. To be honest, I don't even know why you still have Tingos at this point. I hope you didn't buy them. I mean, it's 29 minutes. You should not have Tingos. You should sell those, literally. You have Tranquils. Okay. So this is scary because he went all in on the BKB and he doesn't have buyback. Medusa is our lifeline. We need to ensure that Medusa stays alive no matter what. Obviously, we have 3 dead here. But Medusa, you need to be super cautious. What happened? You don't even hit Blade Mill? You don't even hit Blade Mill. Super late Blade Mill. Okay. I mean, it wouldn't have gotten a kill or anything, but... So this Yules is becoming a real problem. Like, he's just been getting pickoffs and ganks. Lincoln's would have been nice. But we do need LC. We needed LC to stay alive a little bit longer. Oh, okay. That was why he jumped up. I saw this and I was like, BKB TP. Okay, so the BKB actually saved you, which is really nice. BKB TP, I mean, if you're getting jumped on like that, you don't have a choice. You might as well use it. That's a perfect use of a charge. Alright. This is a terrible item. Okay. This is a greedy item. Alright, and this comes back to you not really... Like, Skywrath wants to get all of his kills through all of his gold and farming through kills. And not through the Philosopher's Stone, who, in my opinion, you should have passed on to a support. Yeah. We're so far behind, so I guess it really doesn't matter. But it would have been ideal in that sense. Okay. So, alright, here are things that I'm thinking. This Desolator, I distinctly remember you going, like, or telling you that we needed Blink. We needed Blink. 100% needed Blink. Because, again, we don't have that catch. Everybody just runs away from us. But instead you want damage dealing. This is a selfish item. Mate, again, like, the offlaner has to be selfless. They have to realize, and it's one of the hardest positions because of the fact that you need to react to what your team needs, what the enemy team has, and all of that stuff. Like, there are so many different factors, and offlane is difficult. Don't get me wrong, because you're like a core, you have that responsibility, but you're getting that, and you can't. You're not the flashiest of guys. You're the one that needs to lock your. Like, if you look at the Centaur, oh, this is a terrible use of Mystic Flare, right? This is not the guy you want to go over. Like, you set up the duel. Okay. All right. This is a rough fight to win. Watch. Okay. There's a lot of things that went wrong in this one. Let me rewind this. Let me slow it down. Okay, here. All right. I don't think that Magnifier is actually going to do. Okay, so we need to protect this tower. Leshrac is not even in this position. All right. We spend a lot. Okay, that Mystic Flare is absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible, right? Because one bad mistake, and it's impatience here. Impatience. Because you think, oh, this is the only one that I can hit. And they're like, oh, shit, Mystic Flare's gone. All of these other guys, the Jakiro even, is getting in on the action. And they decide to be super aggressive. That was a nice 2-man Earthspike, by the way. Okay, so now the duel happens, and this is, I think, the right choice, because you don't see the Leshrac. I mean, it'd be better if you got, like, Zeus or somebody, but we feel like we can get the Razor, right? I think we have enough to kind of deal with it. Hang on, Medusa's coming. I gotta rewind this. I gotta see why Medusa's not even here. Oh, you decide to fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Actually, you probably could have fought. And also, you TP back here. This was bad. This was bad, okay? Alright, this is, okay, there's a lot of things going on right here, okay? This Medusa here, when you BKB'd, to be honest, you probably could have fought, but, you know, this Leshrac would have just ran away, okay? So, instead of TPing into the fountain, when you're basically at full, let me see if you were full. Yeah, you're pretty much full, right? And I don't know why, okay, you're definitely stronger than you think you are. Okay? You don't need to fear the Leshrac. TP should have been in the middle of this. In the middle of this. Right? TPing into the fountain does us no good, especially with all this going on. Because if you TP here, the Leshrac is not even in the fight. You turn this fight. We win this fight if you were here. You TP into the middle of this. Okay? And I'm looking at your cooldown here. You're TPing in. You would have been right in the middle of this. Okay? Meaning, like, they've been like, these two guys would have been like, oh, fuck, Mother Medusa's here. We gotta run. And then these two would have been easy pickings. Okay? That didn't happen. That's a mistake. Mystic Flare. Big mistake here. But what you need to do, and you need to understand how the team needs to fight. If this duel happens, you need to pop the Mystic Flare right on top of the Razor. This is the combination. You need to be patient. You need to ensure that once this duel happens, he's not going anywhere. And then you pop it here, and look at how low the Razor gets. We decided to try to burst it, the finger was used, all this stuff. And we lose this fight because that Mystic Flare damage would have been enough for the LC to survive, getting that duel damage. And now the Medusa's coming in. Now you're trying to go. Even now, Leshrac has gotten enough time to get in the action. So you killed the Centaur, fine. I don't know why you went for this Zeus when we probably should have gone for the Leshrac here. Yeah. So yeah. It's the little things. Like, literally, that would have changed everything. That would have changed everything. We would have won that team fight. Like, TPing right into the middle of all of that. You know, the Mystic Flare stuff, like the dual damage. Now, giving Razor more damage, he has 20 dual damage. You have 70. Right? So, okay, just... I'm like, still frustrated. Like, I still feel it. But, like, it's like the small things that, like... You know what I mean? Like... You know, I like, there were times where I was just like, I just wanted to scream because it was like super frustrating, right? All right, another thing, don't save up for this. Obviously, you have buyback. If you have the surplus, like looking at the surplus, you actually have enough money for the ultimate orb. You can buy that. And if we're looking at this in terms of unreliable gold, you're carrying 3,559. This is a lot of gold to just kind of, okay. I don't like that, because now you don't have enough for buyback. So what you need to do is you need to spend gold so that you have enough. Your surplus is gone. Okay? The surplus is gone. You see how it's in red now. Your surplus is gone, but you have buyback. You must always have buyback. 30 plus minutes, 25 plus minutes. Everybody needs to start saving for buyback. Even LC here. Again, I really dislike the fact that you went Desolator. I am a terrible person because I didn't buy buyback, or I didn't have buyback as well. But I look at myself as a support, not as important, not as much, because my timers are a lot quicker. Plus I have Aeon Disc. Hopefully that will survive, or I will survive a little bit longer. At this point, Ags is a foregone conclusion. There's no way you were going to get Ags in this game. You're too far behind. Like this 5,000, like this is ridiculous, right? Like, to think that you spent 35 minutes amassing 5,000 800 net worth, right? And to think that you're going to get a 4,200 gold item at this point is far and away just not possible, right? These two items here, the point booster and the ogre axe, would have gotten you a glimmer cape, right? And the glimmer cape would have had way more value. Save your guys. Plus, it provides magic resistance, so it even has way more value. One other time.
What's happened?
So this is probably the third most used ward spot, right? We talked about this one being number one, and tied with this one. But this is definitely going to be ward, right? If things are dark, you know what I mean? Like, you just assume that they got vision on you, right? They're going to be here. So for our sake, what we have, though, is really good high ground. And what we did was we got caught out with buyback, without buyback. We got caught out with... the only way we were going to lose this game is if we got caught outside of our base and not defending high ground. Spoiler alert, that's what happened. Okay? And we'll see it. Alright, so they're going to try to choke us out pretty much. So we're just going to fast forward a little bit of this. It's really not... Like, they're just going to constantly push, go back, take a, you know... like, roach when they need to. Alright, I remember scanning here, and I knew that it was there. So we decided to do a smoke. This is... Medusa needs to get his ass here. You are so far behind. Hey. Like, we needed... to be honest, okay. When we're taking a team fight, what we should have done is, ideally, Medusa goes in first, stone gazes, and so that disperses the team. And then we look for pickoffs with LC and all that stuff. This is, generally speaking, how it should be. Okay? Because Medusa's actually tanky enough. We have the support items to kind of help her, you know, survive. She has BKB, and she has Scotty now. Mind you, no buyback. But that's really, ideally, how the fight should have gone. If you had Blink, you might have been able to get that steal. Like, you were definitely close enough where, yes, you would have blinked in blind, but it would have been the right move, right? Blinking in, because you don't know what Roshan is at this point. The guy, everybody's so close that we can follow up on this, right? Like, ideally, if the fight was in Roshan's pit as opposed to outside, this is a tremendous value for us, because these guys inside actually can't see outside unless there's a ward. I don't see a ward. Yes, the Jakiro's on the outside, providing a little bit of vision, which is nighttime vision, which is about here. All of these guys here, we could have been picking people off from afar, from outside of the Roshan pit. Again, why we needed Blink. Okay? So let's just see how this plays out. Thunder God's Wrath is now being used, which is perfect timing. Notice that we were not affected because smoke hadn't popped, so we actually take no damage on this. You decide to go in, which is fine. But why? Oh, why would you duel the Centaur? Right? Like, I need to go to the bathroom. Okay? We need to, like, I want people to see this, because, like, you saw the HP, but you didn't, like, Centaur is the last, okay. Centaur is the last one. He doesn't do any damage. He has, yes, he has all kinds of, you know, Stampede and, like, Double Edge and all that stuff, but he's not the one doing damage. He wants people to attack him, because he's the tankiest, he's the offlaner, what you should be doing. What you needed to have done is secure the you know, the Zeus, the Leshrac, even the Jakiro at this point, because he provides so much crowd control. Okay? I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna be right back. All right, okay, where was I? Okay, yeah, duel into this guy, right? I actually think he, hang on, does he pop? He actually even popped Blade Mail. Okay, so not only are you dueling the wrong hero, the second thing is that you're like, oh, everybody sees a duel and they just assume that you've chosen correctly, and they go all in, right? The problem though is that he's popped Blade Mail. So all of this damage that everybody's focusing on this guy is actually just going to be reflected. So you're hurting us because we're forcing. Look at how much damage. Look at how much damage. Okay, I mean, yeah, that was Thunder God's Wrath in addition to it, but he's got Mystic Flare on top of this motherfucker, right? Look at how low we are. You got the winner. Okay, so you killed him, which is fine, but these are the guys that are doing damage. The Leshrac especially. He's just popped BKB? Yeah, BKB's still alive. So you can't really do that. So now you're gonna die. We walk into the ice. Ridiculous. And now here comes Medusa. Kill this Zeus. They're gonna kill me. To be honest, I probably should have just stayed here. I probably should have. I mean, just sacrifice myself to But okay. I hope when you can see a lot of the little things that went wrong, right? Like, to be honest, in an ideal fight, and we needed to position this better, but, you know, let me just kind of rewind this. Like, this is the moment when we decide to smoke. But Medusa is here, right? She's buying out her Scotty, right? If a smoke call is being made, you need to know we're going to fucking Roche. We're going to fucking Roche. We're going to fucking Roche. And yet you're continuing to push down the lane, right? This 5 or so extra seconds of you pushing that lane is gonna see what happens, right? That 5 seconds could have put you probably about here, I would say, right? Meaning that when the shit hits the fan, you're in position to stone gaze. If you stone gaze in this position, all of these guys are facing you, and if they want to continue to fight and try to kill everybody else, fine, but they're locked in. Everybody's there, and they're just going to be stopped. This stops all of that, right? Like, this is the only one that would have gotten away from the PKs, both of these guys. But you would have been in position for both of them, and you probably could have saved them. Like, again, it's the tiniest thing. But, like, how do you get better as a Dota player and as a team? Like, when a call is made, you need to understand why the call is made. And just drop everything that you're doing and go. Right? It's the whole coordination thing, making sure that everybody's aligned. Like, in any traditional sport, if somebody's making a call of a play and one guy's kind of doing his own thing, like, the play's not going to work. We're seeing exactly that stuff here happening. He needed force. Okay, BOT. Oh, this is a really bad item for you. This is a really bad item for you. If you're snowballing early lane and you're just ganking from lane to lane, it makes sense. But at this stage of the game, 38 minutes, you're literally walking like here to here. You need to force that. You need some way to keep yourself alive. Your itemization is not great. You need to work on that. No blink. Probably could have secured this guy, because we did have duel up. More reasons that we needed the blink hammer instead of this 1600 mithril hammer. And to be honest, I don't know what the neutral items you had, but the Imclaw probably would have been better for you to just go something tanky. You just need to beef yourself up, because you're a little squishy. I mean, comparing yourself to 2100 versus 2900, and he has straight up utility. This is the type of core as an offlaner he's sacrificing for his team, but he's been focused on with his good positioning. He's had the right items in terms of, you know, just getting everybody tankier, because all of these guys are super squishy. But this Centaur has been on point. He's been playing like a really good offlaner, right? So if somebody wants to be the offlaner, this is the type you need to be. Like, notice he's just locking people into place. He doesn't really have the damage. He doesn't have enough damage to kill the lion. right? But that's he's relying on other people to do the damage, and he stampedes on away. Complete disengage for free. That lion almost dying. Okay, so the offlaner. This is the type of offlaner that, like a space creator, somebody who locks people into place. Let the damage dealers actually do the damage. You're not a damage dealer, and this is, again, a little bit of an issue with this hero is because she scales and she does a shit ton of damage, and she can be played as a core or as a carry, that is. But it's again coming back to the team and the needs of the team. Yeah, and this Zeus is being super annoying. That Nimbus is like incredibly annoying. I don't know how you still have a tango at the end of the game. I don't know, like, is this like a participation ribbon at the end of the day? I don't know. Like you should never be there. There's no reason to have 6 or a tango. Sell it. Yeah, continue this eggs.
All in service to imbalance.
Like, another thing is that how are people dying? Right? Lion, you need to think about that. In the sense of like, what is going on? Is my team lacking damage, or are they lacking survivability? Right? And in my defense, I went Aeon Disc because again, I was looking. If I get bursted on, if I get run on, I have outs. They're gonna stop hitting me once my Aeon Disc pops. Like the Force Glimmer would have been awesome here. And I'm trying to use my positioning to stay in the back, trying to get some people off. Doesn't use my Earth Spike. I have a lift. And I try to lock in this ledge rack. I'm in my Aeon Disc pops, and I just kind of back up and use that. Okay, this. All right, so I'm gonna pause it here because Jakiro is down. We're 4 or 5v4 at this point, but Medusa here don't have BKB. Hang on, do we have any? Yeah, we have a 4-stat. Okay, mine's on cooldown. Okay. This is an issue because you're staying underneath this Nimbus. I'm not saying that you can move on out, because you probably couldn't move out and attack people because you're going to get blown up anyways. But this Lion could have changed the entire game if you forced him here. Out of the Nimbus. I mean, it's so low at this point. It's debatable. Hang on, let me see a little bit further. Where's the Lion? Okay, so the Lion is here. Needs to... Okay, she was actually at full. Okay. So, right here. Okay. The Nimbus is popped in this situation. This is the moment where Lion needs to think about, your spells are pretty much on cooldown. How do I save the president? Force her out. Right? And another thing is that look at how much damage Medusa takes just from sticking under the Nimbus. She just stands there. Literally the Nimbus, and then the stun, the split earth, and now they decide to turn. So you were about half health. And so Medusa, you literally stayed under this Nimbus. If you walked out, forced out by the Lion maybe, we could have saved you. Right? But what instead happens, you end up dying. You do have buyback. You do buyback. Nice 2-man or 3-man Earth Spike. Overwhelming odds. Oh, and the duel. That was such a bad duel. That was such a bad duel. Alright, okay. Why is that a bad duel? Our Medusa had just died, which is literally all of our damage. Everybody else doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. We have a lot of control, a decent amount. Oh, it's a 2-man Earth Spike. Okay, what we should have done is should have just retreated. There's no point in continuing to move forward. Just, you know, like, shoot some shots, get our spells off all in cooldown. And I probably should have Fade Bolted here and just kept on running because we need to get back to Medusa. You let the towers do some damage. But instead, what is this? This clusterfuck right here. We just kind of body block each other. But you tried to go for a duel without our Medusa, who is all of our damage. Okay? like, if we give up the racks, fine. But we still have the top and the bottom one. Like, this is a massive mistake. Oh, actually, CTP's here. Okay. Okay. But what should have happened... Alright, I didn't know that Medusa was there. Okay, so let me just rephrase this. Okay, so... Medusa dies. This continued to run this way. I don't know why you're so far out. Wait, what the hell were you doing, LC? Why were you running like that? Oh, that was just like a complete... Oh my gosh, okay. Oh, that was... Okay. Alright, let's see this. So, LC... You should have been overwhelming odds. Anytime you're not using your spells, it looks bad on you, man. And we're breaking it down to the minuscule time, so there's a lot of seconds, so to speak. Like, you need to be popping this Ancient Seal. Just cast your fucking spells, right? Okay, I did too, so, okay. Earthspite, okay, and the Mana Drain, whatever, okay. But if you can overwhelming odds these guys, you're doing as much damage as you can. Now he casts it. Silence up. He dies, right? This is where we run back into the fountain. The buyback happens, and the TP is coming. The TP is coming. One thing to note is that Medusa should have been like, I'm motherfucking TPing in the front, right? We need to communicate like that. We need to say what's going on. Because to be honest, I thought you bought back, and I thought you were walking into this, right? This is actually a completely different position than running up. Because if we run into you, we're trying to bait them into you. In this case, though, what it's looking like is that we run, and then these guys are like, oh shit, a Medusa's behind us, and they're going to turn around. Okay? And then that will buy us time to catch them as they try to run from us. Right? And so, another thing to note is that LC here, if you made that call of this TPing happen, then this duel should have waited. You should have backed the fuck up. And then once Medusa's here, and they're like, oh shit, now we're running. Now we're trying to make a call. And then this is when you duel, when you catch them running. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Because we could have caught this Leshrac. We could have caught, you know... I mean, I hope you didn't duel again this Centaur, which is super tanky and probably the wrong one you go for. We needed to have killed this Leshrac. With this Medusa in this perfect position here... do I force myself? I somehow survived that. But Skywrath, why are you running? Why are you running? Right? You went back into the fountain. Right? What you need to understand here is that, and I'm breaking this down because this is probably the team fight, the tipping point, so to speak, of our game. Right? Because what happens here is that once people stop attacking you, you still have spells to cast. You still haven't even cast your fucking ult, man. Like, pop it already. Right? Like, this is annoying because you're our motherfucking mid. Right? What does this positioning and getting back into the fountain do? It gives you a little bit of a heal. As long as they stop attacking you and they disengage from you, that's when you stop and run. This is how you position yourself perfectly with Skywrath. Is that all you do is you run when they go at you, and you go after them when they decide to run. And this is it's like that perfect like tango, so to speak, of like, how do I position myself? You're always in this spot. And if you play fighting games, you'll understand this too. Spacing is an important thing. This is bad spacing because you've run. You're not adding any value. You still have your Mystic Flare up, and you haven't even casted that, right? So it comes back to, and I'm super frustrated with this because as a mid player, when we're like, hey, you're the guy that we trust to carry us in this game, we're going to give you a lot of itemization and, you know, net worth to carry the game and to just finish out the game. And when you're running away like this, it's frustrating because I'd be like, oh shit, if I had that much net worth, I would be able to do way more with X or Y or whatever it is because I would have that other next item, right? So even Lion probably could have gotten Ags if we dispersed that net worth around a little bit more, okay? So your positioning should have been here. And then what should have happened is that when these guys are running, LC now at this point should have looked to duel probably the Leshrac. You pop the Mystic Flare on top of that, you secure that kill. We completely changed the game. Alright, so Medusa here is going to go, and it's going to get caught out by herself.
I'm sorry to say it.
And is in a bad spot. I probably died. I'm trying to get to our present spot. I probably should have ran. I did have buyback. I do, and I use it. But we need to get as much as possible. Earth Spike? Oh my god, this Earth Spike! Okay, okay, nonetheless. Okay, okay, we secured the kill. 16 life. 16 motherfucking life. Does she survive?
You are dead.
Oh, BKBs, yeah, I can't do shit against that. Hopefully we're on. I remember trying to force you out, the Skywrath. Tried to get you into the fountain, but it was not enough. And then you were forcing and you died.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I would have suggested Mantaing here, just for a little bit more damage and the Scotty. Lion, one thing to know, okay. This is a pro play if you had this, Lion. If you had the game sense. What you could have done here is forced the Leshrac into the fountain, which would have been literally a team wipe. You had it off cooldown. She's literally facing you. If you forced him into the fountain, with the fountain damage plus us 3, we had enough. And that could have been game turning. So more opportunities for us to have done well. And that could have changed stuff. Again, highest net worth, right? What do you do? How do you get back in this game? You kill the highest net worth guy. But instead, you don't. And she runs away, she heals herself, she uses the bloodstone. Go for the hex. Now Manta's being used. Good Earth Spike there. Just mana drain. Mana drain, mana drain, mana drain. Heals up, just prolonging the inevitable. I would micro your illusions further up in the event that she runs away. Okay. She dies in the end. Okay. And through that all, Medusa with the Quelling Blade, Courier, I don't know what you're doing there. But we'll pretend like we didn't see that. Okay. So this is a moment where obviously we can start doing some pushing. Medusa here just pushing the mid lane. Elsie's back. Okay. You have Ags. Okay, you do get the Ags. Not a huge fan of that. Okay, another thing is that we talked a little bit about securing those kills with the Finger of Death. If you did that properly, you would have had way more damage, which made your Ags even way better. Just saying. Right? So you do the small things to help you in the late game. Alright, why? Okay. As I was talking about this, why did you make a left turn here? Why are you in the fucking jungle? 4 people are dead. We have not had this opening the entire game. We literally just got the T1 mid. This was a travesty. This is a huge mistake. All of this time should have just been tearing down this guy. This T2, you probably could have killed Jakiro if he was near, but instead you went all the way back. You're wasting so much time. Like, anyone else, like Lion, LC, all of these guys should have been pushing, but instead, you're pushing the bottom lane. We could have gotten the mid. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I get cut out here. I probably should have TP'd earlier. I do not. We got Yules. Who has Yules? Oh, Zeus had it. I didn't know he had that. But, okay. Let me just say, in a losing game, anytime you have moments of space, this mid lane is the most important lane. If the T1 bottom and top are still there, don't give a fuck. The only one that matters is the mid lane. Because what you do is you put as much pressure as possible, and it's the fastest way to their high ground. You force them to buy back. If they don't, you continue to siege up as much as possible. Take out, hopefully you can get some sort of set, if you get the set of racks, all good. Because that equalizes what you've lost. Right? And the lanes will constantly just be in this internal equal pressure, so to speak. And so, what you've done then is that once you've cleared this up, if they buy back, everybody backs the fuck up. Everybody goes to their high ground, and we do it all over again. Because our high ground's defense is very, very good. That's what keeps us in this game. Okay? And then what we do is we make them make another mistake, we get another team wipe, and then we look to go mid one last time. That's how you win these games. This stuff, the top and the bottom, this T2, irrelevant at this stage, right? It's going to help, yes, but the thing is that we are still far 14k behind. If we were winning, I get it, we can start slow sieging again, and we can slowly choke them out again. But because we didn't do that, you know what I mean? Like, this is not an important strategic objective compared to this one. This is the most important one, and us taking that left turn or whatever, where Medusa went here and then goes all the way to the bottom, that could have potentially been game losing. Well, not game losing because I know how this game ends, but so you Atos there. Atos for what? Atos for what? This is the moment where if you're ever gonna save the Atos. Okay. Again, you're wasting the Mystic Flare on the guy that they want to go on. The duel is gonna fucking happen. Man, you gave more duel damage to the Razor, and now this. Yeah, this is where it ends. Yeah, Medusa no buyback now. Okay. When you're on a team, you need to think about how a team fight is gonna go. Okay, who's the one that initiates? In this case, it probably should be the LC if he had Blink. Okay, in this case it doesn't. So Medusa's gonna slow siege. Medusa's just gonna chill around in the middle or whatever, and then LC is looking to make, you know, some sort of duel. Is gonna get on one of the squishies. These are one of the squishies. These two they ignore. Okay, you lock it down, then you Mystic Flare on top of them, and it's Finger, Fade Bolt, everything. You know, concentrate all fire on the Star Destroyer or whatever it is. Like, that's what needs to happen. You need to think about that situation and how this team fight exactly should be run. What is the perfect team fight? How do I win this team fight? Right? So you need to think of it like this. What you're doing in this Dota style is pub style, and it's unfocused. People don't know what the fuck's going on. Medusa's backing up. Elsie's coming in. Mystic Flare's being popped. Like, there's no synergy. There's no coordination, right? And so maybe this is a fault on me for not communicating this, but we needed to have been like, LC, your sole job is to get on this fucking LC, or sorry, on the Zeus or the Leshrac. You just lock them down with a duel. I don't care if you die, but everybody should focus on those guys. Those are the ones that are doing the damage. This Centaur, all day long, all day strong. All they want to do is stun and just bait you into doing stupid shit. And he's done a good job because we keep falling for the same old trap. This is the same old shit that happens every single team fight. The Mystic Flare, the duel, all of these things, we're focusing on the wrong guy. Like, he wants you to do this. He has 3.5k HP. Like, look at this. I mean, he has 4,000, which is pretty crazy because the Witless. But nonetheless, you need to focus on the guys that are doing the damage. Okay? And we'll look at the scoreboard of who's doing the most damage. This duel is so bad. Oh. Okay. You don't have enough duel damage. This is like a little kid picking a fight with an adult. Not gonna happen. All right. Second thing is that you're starting duels too early. Right? If you're looking at it here, where is he? He's at full life, and you're trying to duel him. This is a bad one. You have, like, how long is the time? You have 5.5 seconds to duel somebody. Can you kill somebody in 5.5 seconds with 2,700 life? I don't think so, right? Especially with the Centaur here popping his shit with his pipe and everything, right? And he's got BKB as well, so it's going to be even more damaging. LC is the type where he's going to do, like, Zeus and the Jakiro, he can kill in 5.5 seconds. Razor is not one of those guys you can kill, okay? So you need to know that if you're going to go on the Razor, you think that this guy is the dangerous one. You attack him, and then you see how much damage you're doing, and then right before he dies, maybe then, or when he runs away, that's when you duel. You catch him, right? But you went straight up, don't give a fuck, and I'm just going to duel him head on, and you're actually hurting us astronomically. He has 50 duel damage. You have 90. Okay? So as an LC, you catch them when they're running, or you catch them when they're squishy. Centaur is none of the above. Razor is none of the above. And that's going to be game. Okay? So wow, that was, I think I talked about almost like 2 hours on that game. I regret not recording it because I feel like there was a lot of good insights, a lot of good stuff that we can learn. And again, mind you, I was on the losing side, right? And there's a lot of shit that I did wrong too. But it's again about the little things in terms of just making yourself a better player, a better team, coordinating, talking these things through. There are times that people are talking on comms, and it's not direct and it's not really important. This is like, and I'm going to use an FPS as an example, is like, oh, the dude shot me from over there. It's like, okay, but where's over there, right? If I'm like, oh, this guy is at angle 210 behind the shed next to the second window, I'm being a lot more direct. I'm being very, very specific with my directions. Dota is in the same way, right? If Medusa or Skywrath, if you find somebody who's out of position and you're going to go for him, you need to talk about it, right? You need to say something. You need to be like, oh, this guy is completely out. Whatever it is, talk it through, right? And again, we'll go into the damage here, right? I always look at damage and deaths are the two biggest things in this game, okay? Zeus almost tops on his team. How was he able to do so much damage? And Zeus is like Sniper in the sense that if he's in the back lines, and nobody's focusing him, he's gonna love that. Like when I play Zeus and I'm just kind of chilling in the back and nobody's focusing on me, best game ever. I will have the best game ever because I do literally the most damage on this team. You think that the Leshrac did, but he's actually third, right? This is deceiving because we were not focusing this guy properly. Zeus needed to die because of the damage he did. Second thing is Jakiro needed to die because of the crowd control that he provides. You must focus on the supports, okay? If Medusa, if you want to go on for one of the cores, fine, you've got Stone Gaze, I get it. But you need to position yourself so that you're kind of focusing yourself on the squishies so you kill these things as fast as possible. LC, you needed to have gotten on these two. Okay? Those are the guys that need to die. You need to understand the priority of way things and the way people die. Skywrath Mage, you have a silence. Why are you not silencing Zeus? Jakiro. Like, you Atos him, you blow him up with your Mystic Flare, like, he's an insta-death. You don't have to wait for LC to make that duel. But you need to focus on these guys. These are the ones that you need to target on. Priority is the most important thing. Also, you probably should have taken the Quickening Charm from Lion. It would have helped you way more than getting the Philosopher's Stone, which in my opinion is still very greedy. Like, look. Again, putting in perspective. You had plus 70 GPM. Okay? And in terms of net worth, if you didn't have that, you would have fallen behind literally almost, except for the Lion. You would have fallen behind the LC and the Rubik. Okay? That's how bad of a game you were having. This is not the item that you want because you're straight up about damage. At this point, you're a position 5. You're not playing the hero the way like a mid Skywrath should be playing. Okay? You need to figure out and try not to be the smartest guy in the room in the sense of what, you know what I mean? I think your the skills that you went is suspect. Your items that you went also suspect. Like the Aether Lens and all that stuff, I feel like this is a very good for like a position 5 for Skywrath Mage support. But as a mid, this is not what you want to do. The increased target range, it's not good. All you want to do is lock guys into place, blow them up with Mystic Flare, and move on with your life. Like this stuff is like the long sustaining stuff. And against this lineup, which the Leshrac is going to run up on you, Razor, Centaur, all that stuff, they're going to make your life miserable. Dying 9 times is a lot, okay? But you and I are, you know what I mean? Like 10 deaths is a lot. All of this stuff, we needed to have mitigated this, okay? And it comes back to positioning, right? Just having that defensive item. You have 0 defensive items. This 2,500 gold you spent on this BOT could have been a 4-staff. That would have saved you. An Ethereal Blade, maybe. No, actually, too much magic damage. But forcing your way out. You think that you can just navigate, you can walk by people and not being able to, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to outrun somebody with Stampede or Yule's Up Or, you know what I mean, like the Razor with just the amount of speed that they have. Like, this itemization is not good. Lion, again, probably Glimmer. Yeah, probably me too, instead of this Blink. But I was trying, honestly, I actually went Blink because I was looking for initiations. I was like, okay, Elsie's not going to do it, so I'll do it. Not ideal, but I was hoping that, you know, Aeon Disc and all that stuff, just to get somebody, because we let them go so many times, and that was super frustrating. All right, I think that's enough talking about this game. A lot going on.